group chat. There you go. There you go.
You want to repeat what you just said?
Yeah, yeah. Y'all ain't gonna see my face till Chelsea FC lives the Club World Cup come this Sunday.
Okay.
I didn't even need to do the intro. Like this is already like spicy as is.
Yo, Mehrdad! Yo, CJ, bro, what are you saying, bro?
I'm all right, bro. Are you gonna actually show your face or not? What are you saying?
Yo, what?
Oh, I honestly thought for a second, for a split second, I genuinely thought this man was gonna pull out the Chelsea kit. I thought he was gonna pull out the Chelsea kit, but nope, it's wearing fucking Popeyes shirt.
Yeah, that's crazy, bro. I thought we agreed, bro. That kit is coming out as soon as the trophy is lifted.
So you're claiming, hold on, I'll wait till you get your mic set up. You good? You blessed? You can hear me?
Oh, I'm blessed, bro.
Okay. So you're claiming that Chelsea have arrived.
Trophies,
They're on the big stage.
bro. We're on the biggest stage of them all, bro. In current times, yeah, we're on the biggest stage of them all.
So Chelsea's bigger than PSG, Madrid, Barca, Bayern,
I'll,
City.
I'll say this. I'll say this, and this is, mind you, I'm saying this, with in mind the record of all those teams that you mentioned versus this PSG side. Chelsea FC will give you guys a tutorial on how to beat. A tutorial
Wow.
from A to Z. That's what we're doing on Sunday.
Yo, clip it, CJ, clip it.
Bro, it's been clipped. It's been clipped everywhere.
Oh
Bro,
my
This is
days.
mad.
bro, the whole clip, bro. The whole clip. Y'all can do whatever you guys want with that,
Is it an LMG or is it a SMG?
it's a SMG, bro.
Oh, so it's a small machine gun, not a light machine gun?
It's a small machine gun, bro. And that's all we'll need for Sunday, bro. That's all we'll need for Sunday. Man, matter of fact, bro, put in Nicholas Jackson in the
I
lineup.
think this is all part of the banter section. He doesn't actually mean this surely. There's no way.
Are you crazy, bro? What, bro? Nah,
Look,
man.
you don't believe any of what you're saying. You're just
Wait, wait,
mad.
wait, wait, wait. What is it that I don't believe? That we're not gonna go in on Sunday and give PSG the business. That's what you're saying? That is what I don't believe?
Hand on heart, you're gonna go to sleep tonight and ask for forgiveness from the good Lord above for the blasphemy that you're speaking right now.
What blasphemy, bro? What blasphemy? Yo,
This is,
we're here in the finals. Another tournament in the finals, bro.
that's
I
fine. Yeah, celebrate being in the finals, but bro, do you hear what you're saying that you're gonna do to
Yes,
this PSG team?
we're gonna give them the business. We're gonna set yo. I know I bet, bro.
Damn, my water is so good tonight.
Yeah, I gotta get me my. Yeah, hold on. Get me my
All right,
water.
make sure yeah, come back and finish your thought, bro, because the floor is all yours right now. Like you're saying some madness. So
Nah,
continue.
bro. Yeah, listen, man. The next podcast, bro, I'm gonna be here, bro. I ain't going nowhere. But the way our Chelsea side is looking, bro, we are as fluid. I've never seen. Ooh, yeah. Oh man, we're looking good, man. We're looking good. And then we look, we have a true Brazilian, bro, in João Pedro. Seen that? You guys, you seen his brace on his first game where he? Oh, come on, man. That's what we're talking about. That's what wearing the Chelsea jersey is about, bro. Like just clinical, bro. The clinical, the flair, the movement, and then I'm credits to Maresca, man. He's allowed the system to he's really putting the players in key positions. I'm seeing Nkunku is playing a lot better in that role that he's been given. Um, Neto, man. Oh my gosh, that guy so silky, bro. The speed and the silk. Like, I don't know if you guys, bro. This guy, like the past few games, he's been dribbling past players like it's wine. You know what I mean? Like, he's dancing with the ball, bro. He's dancing, and our pressing play is top notch, man. We're pressing. We're letting we're letting the ball go when it's we're releasing it quick. We're pressing like it. This is a Chelsea side that is not the same side we have seen in the Premier League. Mind you, I'm willing to say, even when we had a run of form earlier in the Premier League, when guys were like talking about how we're title contenders and whatnot. The Chelsea side of today is better than that Chelsea side. We have arrived. We are here. We are here. We are here to stay. We are here to conquer. We are here to bring back the Abramovich era. That is the Chelsea FC that is going to show up come Sunday. And you best believe that the Ligue 1 side, that is PSG, is going to have a lot to deal with. So, bro, we're not Real Madrid. Come on, man. Come on. Come on, what do you think this is? This is going to be the performance that Vinny and Mbappe gave today? Nah, man. Mind you, bro, we have a solid. I can say, Maresca, kudos to you. Kudos to you. You've shown that you have the ability to adapt, to make adjustments, right? So it seems like he's actually willing to try things, try new things. So yeah, man, I think this guy can go even on the tactical standpoint. He can go toe to toe. Yeah. So what I'm saying is that PSG, if PSG comes away with it, it's going to be due to individual brilliance, and that's it. Moments of magic. But anything less, bro, we're coming for that team, bro. We're coming for that team. Caicedo, oof. Watch, bro. Caicedo, like that. This game, bro. Y'all gonna understand why we dropped the amount of money we dropped on that player, bro. And even Enzo Fernandez, man. I'm starting to warm up to him even more, because at first was not a fan, right? I always thought, like I thought he was even overhyped. But now I can see he has that ability, on the ball. He's calm. There's distribution. He bringing the composure in the midfield, right? Looking for those pockets. So yeah, no, man, I think we're solid, bro. We're solid, and yeah, we have the depth. We have the depth. I think that's also what's going to work for us in our favor. Mind you, up top, bro, we have 3 different strikers at this point. 3 different strikers. No. Like when you think about it, right? We have 3 strikers, all with each individual unique abilities, right? So it's like we have those options going forward, even in the back, right? Gusto, James, who's going to start? I don't know. I don't know, but right, either who, I'm confident with them. And then you got Chalaba, Tosin, you even have Coel, and then the heads and shoulders, Cucurella, let's go. Like, we're ready, bro. We're ready. Like, man, honestly, enough talking, bro. I want Sunday to be tomorrow, so I can just fucking go up and then see us, do the business. So yeah, man. And for the Arsenal fans out there, bro, we'll show you how to deal with this French side, bro. We'll show y'all how to do it. And we'll bring it back home for you guys.
How you doing, CJ?
Yo, I can.
Bless you. Good. You blessed.
I want to sit here. I could sit here for the whole hour and let Laurent speak. Honestly, like that, I could do with that being the whole episode, bro. I'm like speechless. I'm enjoying what he's saying, but I'm speechless. I don't even know what to say, bro.
Speechless because what? You think it's what I'm saying is not going to pan out?
I just want to know where this like newfound confidence came from. You were the same one kind of pouring cold water on your side all season.
Of course,
long,
yes. Before the Club World Cup, of course. If this was like, yes, I'd be saying what I was saying then. But mind you, this is also why I actually did like this tournament, and I understand the arguments in the injuries, right? And the points that were made by Mehrdad, Jurgen Klopp. And mind you, right, wishing speedy recovery to Musiala, right?
Yes,
because,
I think I sent it to you guys in the group chat, bro.
Yeah.
That's
yeah, right. And it's one of those things, right? Like, obviously, the more games you play, right, the risk increases, right, and you succumbing to any sort of injury. But I feel for those teams that are bringing in these players and whatnot, this was the perfect time to gel, in my opinion, before the season starts, right? And you're facing all kinds of oppositions, right? So, and this is going to be our biggest test, mind you.
Yeah, because you guys haven't really had any tests so far.
listen, at the end of the day,
All the
right?
teams that you guys there's
I,
probably 2 or 3 teams on that side of the bracket that would have troubled you guys if not beat you guys, right? And I'm talking about your Bayerns.
woulda, shoulda, coulda,
I
like,
don't know about Real Madrid at this moment in time. Real Madrid, yeah, they're kind of shaky. I don't know. That would have been close, but let's be real. You guys were on a very fortunate side of the bracket. Let's be honest about that. So I don't really know. You guys could have had tests
I'm gonna
earlier on in the
actually come
tournament.
to CJ. Sorry, Coach. I'm actually gonna come to defense out for Chelsea fans and for Laurent on this one. You have to be your opposition. You have to be who's in front of you. Arsenal have had that excuse before, and that we're like, oh, we've been given the easy side of the bracket. We've been given the easy draw, and we've lost. So you can only beat who's in front of you. And Benfica's no joke. Benfica took Barca to like a 7-goal thriller, right? Palmeiras, they're no joke. They played well in the tournaments. And Fluminense, there's a lot of bookies that were saying that Fluminense was going to win because of the form that they were playing. So I don't want to pour cold water on what Chelsea's done throughout the FIFA Club World Cup, because you can only beat who's in front of you. And yes, maybe they were fortunate that Al Hilal did the business against Man City. Man City lost to their father, I guess you could say, because all that oil money, you know, it only went one way. But
Yeah, but for me, like, I agree they have to be what's in front of them. But we're talking about calling it a test. Like, none of those are tests for Chelsea Football Club. Chelsea is a club in Europe, right? The European teams are all
fair.
favorites against the teams that they go up against in this tournament, whether it's MLS teams, whether it's Brazilian teams, whether it's Saudi teams. European teams are always going to be favorites over any of those teams. That's why when Al Hilal beat City, it was an upset because they're not expected to beat City. Chelsea was pretty much expected to be, I would say, the teams that they played. I include Benfica in that, you know. So
Yeah.
I would have loved to see them, like I said, against the Bayern, against an Inter, against a Real Madrid, against a top European side. Now
well,
we're
guess
going
what?
to be
On
seeing that.
Sunday, you're gonna see us against the best of the best, the cream of the crop, as I said, and we're gonna do the business. So I'm curious to see what you're gonna say then, right? Once we come out ahead, what is it gonna be like?
Yeah,
Oh,
but how about? But
like
what happens
you
when
know
you
what I mean?
don't win, fam? You're already acting like you guys already won. I'm saying I'm speechless by this newfound
I'm hella,
confidence
yeah, I'm
because it
hella
was not.
confident.
It was literally a
I'm hella
month
confident.
ago.
You were the one that was like, yo, you should put some more chest. You remember that? I don't know if you remember that podcast when we were like, I think we're giving predictions for like a Premier League game, and then I was like, yeah, I don't know, Chelsea this, right? And then you're like, bro, like this is your team, bro. This is Chelsea, bro. Like, come on, bro. Like, put some more chest behind that, right?
Yeah, it was against Man U. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
that's exactly that, bro.
and I'm surprised now that you're actually doing it. Remember, you were saying this is the same Chelsea team. Again, we're not talking about last year. We're talking about like a month ago or something, or 2 months ago when you're saying like, oh, this team isn't even ready for Champions League football. And
Yeah,
I'm like, what are you
but
talking about? Like, you have to take Champions League football as opposed to not. You know
no,
what I
but
mean?
mind
It's the
you,
same team,
it is
basically.
not. It is not. That's the thing. That's the thing.
Okay, João Pedro.
No. But it's not even just that, bro. It's like even the tactical formation, like the way they're playing, it is different. It is different. Like I don't know if you guys have noticed from the games that you have seen. And I don't know if you guys have been watching the Chelsea games at the Club World Cup.
Oh,
But
100%. Because of
yeah,
you, I've been watching them.
right. No, but and have you noticed like how we're set up now versus how we were in the earlier parts of the season? Like have you noticed any change or any difference?
I think you guys are more clinical. I think the way that you guys are playing, it's more fluid and there's less touches, where before there was a lot of lateral touches where sometimes we get stuck with Arsenal and that they do that they sometimes go laterally too much. I think a lot of it is more direct. Whereas if you
Yes.
compare it to last year, you guys were, sometimes there would be a breakaway and you have Malagusto going bombing down the forward, and then you have Enzo looking for a lateral pass rather than going for that over top and having that direct pass. And I think that's the one piece that I said about João Pedro, that he's Gabriel Jesus, but more direct. And he actually
Yes.
understands that he has that touch. Yes, maybe he's scoring, like when we looked at the stats, maybe it's not something that you're like, oh my God, and you're gonna be like, oh wow, he's that guy. But he does open it up, and the fluidity of that front three, with having Pedro and Kunku and Neto, like that's a very fluid front three because all of them can play across the front three line, and and I hope this isn't blasphemy in saying this, and I don't think they're anywhere near the levels of these three men, but it almost kind of reminds me of Salah, Mane, and Firmino, where that they could interchange, but they could also play together and play to each other's strengths. That's Nkunku that I was talking about, when he came over from Germany. Like, you actually saw it in this game. Now, Fluminense, their back line is quite old. Um, like I said, you have to be who is in front of you. So, not that I want to pour cold water on it, but I do think there has to be some different level of um, analysis when you're comparing a Fluminense to, like a PSG. Like, I don't know if you guys watched the PSG game, but PSG completely nullified. And when I mean nullified, like they completely nullified Real Madrid. Two of their goals was because of a press that Madrid couldn't handle. And then one of the other goals, it was just,
But
right place
to,
at right time.
to Real Madrid's defense, you should have, would have, could have, but those were two big blunders on two
They were.
highly experienced players that should never have been.
Asensio
Those
is not
should,
highly experienced. I
well,
wouldn't
at
say
least
so,
okay,
but
no,
Rudiger,
even okay, but even when I say how, like, bro, like, you've been playing soccer how many years? Just boot the ball out. A ball like that, like, just kick it
yeah,
out, bro. Like center back instincts, right? You're launching that ball out.
yeah.
If that ball is launched out, bro, like, that goal is not scored. And then Rudiger again,
Yeah,
that, right? Like,
Rudiger was embarrassing, and like even it could have been like 6-7 if it wasn't for Courtois. Like some of the saves that he made in the first half, like
mhm.
he saved them. And I think the one piece that I don't think you're expecting is the closest team to PSG that I think Chelsea had played this year would have been Liverpool, if I'm being honest, with the type of pressing that they do. But I think even Liverpool do not match the pressing that PSG does and the manner in which they press. Because Liverpool you know, had their Achilles heel with Trent Alexander-Arnold and Robertson, where they're not the greatest defenders, but you have Achraf Hakimi on one side, you have Nuno Mendes on the other side. On top of that, you have three forwards who are pacey, and you also have João Neves, who has an engine, on top of Vitinha and Fabian Ruiz. So, like, the way that they're playing right now and the form that they're in, I like, if Chelsea does it, I'll put my hand up. But I genuinely, and I'm not just saying it because you're on the pod, I genuinely don't think Chelsea have a chance. I think they will score. I think they will give them a better game than Madrid. But I don't see them. I don't see them pulling it off, unfortunately, man.
It's just going to come down to quality. Yeah, like PSG is just a better team at this time. Like they're a better team and they have better quality. And what I mean by this is the same Chelsea team that a month ago that Laurent, you're saying is not ready. Like I have noticed a little bit of more gelling, a little bit more of them starting to understand Maresca. It's taken the whole season, and yeah, you can see they're using this as part of the off season as well, right? The Club World Cup going into next season, like it's now all starting to come together a little bit more. They've had a strong end to the season and winning the Conference League and whatever, so they've been riding a high. It's definitely starting to come together for the team under Maresca, right? Like I said, they're
Mhm.
gelling more and they're starting to build more chemistry. And yeah, let's not deny, so there's that, but that's what I mean by it's the same players. It's the same players that are now starting to find their form and starting to gel and starting to understand the manager's ideas. But let's not also forget that we can say it has nothing to do with a couple of new signings. But again, the João Pedro factor, he pretty much won Chelsea the
Mhm.
semifinal. Let's be honest. Jackson is not scoring those goals that João Pedro scored. João Pedro is just a better player. So João Pedro, like I said, he obviously, yes, the team is performing, but João Pedro won Chelsea the semifinal. Um, and yeah, but I think again, I think they'll come up short against this PSG team, because PSG, it's not a knock on Chelsea. PSG is just honestly the best team in the world right now. We You just have to watch the way they play, the players they have from back to front. All 11 positions on the field, solid. All 11.
Yeah.
Midfield three, all solid. Back four, solid. Goalkeeper, solid. Front three, solid. Like just back to front, and they play well as a team, right?
Yeah.
I just think they'll have too much quality. I think that'll come through. I think Chelsea will put up a fight.
Yeah.
I was saying this today actually to a friend of mine from work. Actually, Laurent, you met him, Ethan. The last time we all went out, shout out Ethan. But He was actually, he has the same. I don't know, man. All these Chelsea fans have this newfound confidence, bro. But he's confident as well. And I was like, what makes you like? What? How do you think you're gonna play? He's like, yo, we got to go. We got to face them, like, head on. And I'm like,
Yes,
bro. But I'm like,
yes.
but I told
That's
him, listen. I said, nah. If you guys try and play PSG at their game and go and
They'll
take
beat
them
you.
on, they'll
no,
batter you, bro.
fuck all that, man.
You guys are gonna have to play
Fuck all that.
Jose. You guys are gonna have to play
Yo,
Josie style.
Wait, you guys saw what happened when Villa played him?
Yeah,
Yo,
they
so-
lost. Yeah.
No. But did you see how it was margins? That was fine margins.
Okay, so was Arsenal.
Yeah,
when we played them.
that was fine. That was fine margins, right? Like when Villa had the audacity to look and then play that team head on, right?
Yeah,
and you
but
can argue that Chelsea overall has better quality than that Villa team that played them head on, right? So yes, I definitely agree, bro. A game like that, bro, we can't sit back and like let them do their thing. No, fuck that, bro. We have the legs, bro. We have the youth, bro. We have the midfield, bro.
I
bro,
think if you guys try to play PSG at their game and take them on, I think you guys are going to get dealt with by a couple goals at least. Because you guys, if you had the similar level of quality, then maybe. But I just think there is a gap. There's a significant gap. Okay, maybe not significant, but there is a gap in quality between the two teams.
I don't disagree that there's a gap. Like right. Let's not be delusional here, right? They won the Champions League, right?
Let's not be
Beating the team.
delusional here. Did you forget the last 25 minutes of you?
Of your monologue, yeah, like
Yeah,
Let's
no,
not be delusional here.
Yeah,
All right,
no.
Let's rewind the last 20 minutes. Chelsea has arrived. We are.
No, because we have, bro. What the hell, bro? Like we're back-to-back finals. Like what? You know what I mean? Like what do you want me to say? What do you want me to say?
Keep it at that. You don't say you're
Hold
gonna
on,
deal with
hold
them
on,
and
hold
bring
on.
home the trophy and give them the business, bro. Just say you're in the
We're
finals.
gonna. No, I'm not. We're going there to give the business, bro. None of that, bro. None of that like fucking timid bullshit, bro. Nah, bro. This is the Chelsea of the Abramovich era, bro. We're here. We are here, bro. Fuck all that. All of that being, oh yeah, no, yeah. It's a final. We're glad to be here. Nah, man. Fuck all that, bro. We're here for war. We want to win. We want to win.
Don't
We
say
wanna
that you're
win.
going to win and you're taking home the trophy.
No.
and
We
you'd love
want
beat the
we
best
want to
team in
win,
the world.
and we're gonna do whatever it takes, bro, on that day to win. On that day, and you guys are gonna see it, bro. You're gonna see it, bro.
Jeez. So
And
what
then-
happens
and
if we
then-
don't see it? Like, what happens if you guys lose? That's what I want to know. Because you're forgetting that that's the other part of this, right? It's
Yeah,
only
yeah,
one
of
way
course.
in your head right now.
No, it's not. Because like, obviously, right? Like it's two outcomes. You can either win or you lose, right? And if we lose, you're going to see a team that even all the guys, all the hooligans at fucking in Paris, right? In the banlieue, in the streets of Paris, they're gonna damn this Chelsea side, bro. Yo, they can win the Premier League next season. That's how we're gonna go. That's how we're gonna go.
Oh my
It's
gosh.
exactly how we're gonna go. If we lose, bro, the respect for Chelsea is just gonna, cause damn, bro, these guys they came to play, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like our manager was here for how long, and then right, like under Luis Enrique, he did all of this, right? But these guys, like with the time they had, right, man, they're looking good. They're looking good. Arsenal, City, watch out. Liverpool, watch out.
So Chelsea's going to be in a title race next season.
Yo, I'm telling you right now, you guys are gonna see it. Based on the performance on Sunday, bro, you guys are gonna understand, bro. You guys are going to understand, bro.
I hope this all goes your way, honestly. I hope,
Bro,
because you're predicting all this, and I just hope the team will support what you're saying, because you're gonna look like you have egg on your face if it all goes south. Seriously.
Yeah, at the end of the day, bro, so long as it's my team, bro, I can have egg on my face, bro, and I'm going out proud, bro. I'm going out proud, bro. There's no shame. There's no hiding, bro. Like these Man U fans and nowadays don't want to claim their team anymore because they're in the fucking sinkers, bro. But nah, man. Like I believe in the project. I believe in this team, and I can start to see that the quality is there, bro. The quality is there. It's looking good, man. It's looking good with especially with this João Pedro guy that we got, and even before him, the lap, right? The lap was already okay. Like okay, we're moving, but now you added a third key piece, bro, right? And now really, what I'm curious about is what does Jackson have to say for all this?
He's gone. Did you not see in the game when he had that breakaway and he could have passed it across, squared it across to Palmer?
But
and
you
Palmer
know what?
alive?
You know what that was? Mind you, no. I actually rate Jackson for that because had he passed, that would have been okay. Like you pass, that's the play to make. Fine. But he saw a guy coming out of nowhere, bro. A guy that was on vacation in Brazil, had no business being in the position that he is in. Got the call, right? He gets signed. He starts over you, right? Scores two on his debut, and then you come off the bench. Yeah, if I was Jackson, I'd be looking to make a statement, and I would have taken that shot too. So you know what? At least for having the cojones, the balls to do that, and then you gotta accept at that point if your teammate like lets you know, yeah, you gotta accept that. But
So sorry, what had happened? So Jackson had a
So
chance.
Jackson was
yeah,
coming off the left and he was on like a partial breakaway
hmm
and Palmer was in the middle of the box and he
hmm
could have squared it for Palmer to have a tap in, but he decides to take the shot and he hit side netting and Palmer just lost his shit. Like he kicked
Mm.
yeah,
the goalpost and he turned around and started cussing at Jackson and you could see from his like trying to like read his lips. He was saying, "You gotta pass it, you gotta pass it. Like
yeah.
what are you doing trying to shoot from there? Pass the ball. I could have scored."
Yeah,
So
no, but you see, those are the plays, bro. I'm telling you right now. If a striker passes in those, I'd be worried because one, it's like a striker to me needs to have ego. You have to have ego, bro. To fill in the number nine, bro. There has to be some ego about you. You know what
I
I mean?
agree. I
And
agree.
bro,
However,
Mbappe wouldn't have done that. Mbappe, Vinny, those guys, they would have went for the same
okay,
thing
okay,
that he
but,
did.
but but hold on, hold on, hold on. Let's pour some water on this because we're going a little too far. We're never gonna speak about Nicholas Jackson in the same breath as Mbappe and Vinny, first of all.
No, but that's not the point that I'm
No, no,
making.
no,
The
hold on.
point
Let me
is,
make my point. Let me
okay, okay,
make my
okay.
point first. Um, I agree with you. If you want a striker, you have to be selfish at times. However, the great
I'm
strikers,
not saying selfish. I'm not saying that's not what I'm saying. It's not selfish. It's ego.
okay,
There's a difference.
whatever. However, the greatest strikers and some of the strikers that we've seen that kind of play that unselfish and have that ego, but also pick and choose when they do it. Looking at like a Bobby Firmino, looking at like an Olivier Giroud when he was at Chelsea and when he was at Arsenal, passing the ball and stuff. Um, they pick and choose their moments. If you're coming off the bench and a guy was just signed and he started over you, yes, I fully hear you. You want to make a statement to your coach. You want to make a statement to be like, hey, I'm going to try to bang one in. Yes, I agree with you. Great cojones for trying to do that. However, if he had squared it and they went 3-0, then he would be able to go to his coach and be like, see, look, I could
Yeah,
have
but it
gone
does
for
nothing
myself.
for him. That's the thing. It does not as a striker, as a goal scorer, that does absolutely zero
I
for
don't
him.
know.
It's true, bro. It is true. Like, think about it, bro. His job is to score. Like, mind you, I understand what you're saying. I understand what you're saying. It's different. For me, it'd be different if we're up like probably 1-0 or something like that, right? But we're up 2-0 at that point. Yeah, I believe we're up 2-0. So you have the margin for error to even attempt that at that point.
But 2
That
0 is the worst lead.
uh it's
2-0 is the
debatable. Plus,
worst
it
lead.
was towards the end of the game as well, right? It
It
was
was,
towards
it was, but
towards.
still, it was at like the 80th minute. That's still 10 minutes and extra and stoppage time. Not saying that, like, obviously we know the result and it's a moot point,
Mm.
um, but anyways, we're kind of getting carried away. We're half an hour in. I'm gonna do the quick intro. If you made it this far, we're not a Chelsea podcast, but we just want to give Laurent his light, his moment. He's been suffering. We've been bantering him all year. Um, he's been feeling it. So we're just gonna let him have this moment. And next week, um, I'm not sure if he's gonna show up because some of his predictions, the blasphemy, um, I don't know. I don't know how you're gonna show up with a smile on your face or even, go on camera. But yeah, so that's Laurent, resident Chelsea fan, and as always, joined by my Arsenal compadre, CJ. Um, it's been a long half an hour listening to this. I'm glad we did it. We can start in a little bit of a reverse order. So we've been talking about the FIFA Club World Cup. Chelsea obviously beat Fluminense from the last half an hour. I don't know what you were listening to if you didn't catch that. They beat them 2-0. As Laurent said, João Pedro scored a brace. Two unbelievable goals. Like, let's not take anything away from it. Two unbelievable goals against his boyhood club. Um, just signed and he stamped Chelsea to the final. And then today, PSG just dominance is the only word that comes to mind. I don't know about you two, but dominance is the only word that comes to mind for the way that they played. They've already had a quadruple. They won the league, they won Champions League, they won both. They won their domestic cup and their league cup, and they're going for the fifth trophy in 1 year. Luis Enrique could arguably go down as one of the most decorated coaches because of the way that he turned around this PSG team. He faced Mbappe and he nullified him. I don't know if you guys watched the game, but there was a breakaway that Mbappe had, and he was facing Pacho. And who was behind Pacho trying to chase down Mbappe? Osumane Dembele. The same Dembele who has been injured this entire FIFA Club World Cup, who was essentially in the hospital ward whenever he played for Barcelona, and he's tracking back the whole length of the field to put pressure on his national team colleague. Mbappe would have never done that. So there has to be something said about how PSG and Luis Enrique has coached this team, and this team plays for each other. You could take the names off their backs and they wouldn't give a shit. They would still play hard. The way that he's got this team ticking, to be honest with you, I haven't seen this until since the Pep Centurions. That's how good this team is. I don't know, CJ, if you agree with me, or Laurent, you agree with me, but this team is on a different level, on a completely different level. And I understand Xabi Alonso's new. He's trying a new system. Rodrigo also didn't get minutes again. I understand all of that, but wow. Real Madrid were played off the park. So sets up a very good final. Chelsea versus PSG. Towards the end of the pod, we'll obviously do our predictions. Laurent was right, I believe, from the last pod that Fabian Ruiz was going to score. I don't think you got the score right because I think you said 3-0 and it was 2-0.
I think I said Fabian Ruiz.
Did you say Fabian Ruiz? Let me
Yeah.
fact check that. Who did Laurent say then? Did you say
You
Fabian?
guys were shocked when I said Fabian Ruiz.
Oh yeah, I said Due. Yeah, you said Fabian Ruiz. Laurent said okay.
Wait, who did I say?
You said wait, no, that's a wrong podcast. No, you said Dembele. Did you say Dembele? Yeah. Oh, sorry, that was the Bayern game. Never mind.
Yeah, word. I was just thinking about
Yeah, I
I
was
swear
gonna
this was
say
yeah. I don't remember us doing predictions for Real Madrid.
So yeah, I don't know. Do you guys have any final words to add on the FIFA Club World Cup before we switch gears to Arsenal?
Not really. We said everything that we needed to say. Well, I think when we're talking about Chelsea, unless Laurent, you want to go in some more?
Nah, man. I said yeah, I pretty much said everything. I'm just gonna be there Sunday. I still don't know what time it's gonna be played at, but I'll check that probably after this podcast is over, And
You know who
yeah.
you're playing, right?
No, actually, no, I don't. Can you
Hmm.
could you remind me?
Okay. I
It's at
think
3 o'clock, Laurent. Let me help you out. It's 3 o'clock.
3 o'clock. All right, bet. All right, bet.
if you don't know now, you'll know for sure who you played by the end of Sunday, I think, when the full-time whistle blows.
Fuck.
Okay, bless. All right. Nah.
All right. So Zubimendi, after I don't even know how many here we goes we got from fucking January till now, he is officially an Arsenal player. We saw him in the jersey. He signed the thing. He was with Arteta. He was with Berta. He was with his family. He's officially an Arsenal player. One done. Like we said last week with the unfortunate news of Diego Jota, Nørgaard wasn't announced. Zubimendi was also supposed to be announced last week, but for obvious reasons, that didn't happen. So I do believe Nørgaard is going to be official by the end of this week, and he's going to sign it. Gabriel Hines, we spoke about it during the last pod. Apparently, he has accepted the coaching staff role. I believe David Ornstein is the one who confirmed it, and he will join the Arsenal coaching staff. Before we get on to the three big names, and I know we're going to spend a lot of time talking, but I just want to take a moment and chat about Ethan Nwaneri. There's been a lot of news coming out that Ethan Nwaneri has been asking for, the contract discussions, the extension has been stalling a little bit because he's been asking for more guaranteed playing time, and he wants some guarantees with, his role in the squad. Um, before I give my thoughts, CJ, I want your take on that. What's your thoughts on Ethan asking for all this? He's 18. We understand he's extremely talented. But what's your thoughts? Do you think he is warranted for him to ask for this?
No, let's get this out there first and foremost. We don't know for sure. This is all what we're hearing, obviously, in the media, and the speculation going around. I think there's part of me that thinks like he, I don't think he's demanding as much as a lot of people think he's demanding. I think he wants to stay with Arsenal Football Club, and there's talks today that he's actually now close to re-signing. But he's going to want to kind of make sure that there is still that pathway for him, obviously. But as an 18-year-old, and as any player, unless you're Messi or Cristiano Ronaldo, no player can come in and demand minutes and get guaranteed game time. Like, it's not how it works, right? Especially, like I said, at his age, 18 years old, and you're in a team that, this isn't Arsenal when they were in Europa League and finishing eighth. This is Arsenal now who's contending for titles and the top honors in the game. So as an 18-year-old, you have ways to go to try and break through into a team of an already established players, right? Especially when some of the biggest names at the club are playing in the positions that you like to occupy, right? And Bukayo Saka and Martin Odegaard, those are, like I said, two of the biggest names in the club. One's the face of the club in Saka, the other is the captain in Odegaard. So you're playing in those positions. There's only so much you can try and come in and demand playing time and things like that, right? You're in a title contending side. Van Persie and Fabregas, when they were coming through behind the Invincibles back in the day, they knew they had to kind of bide their time and fight for their place. There was no trying to go to the manager and have the cojones to beg for and guarantee, ask for guaranteed minutes when you have Henri and Bergkamp and Patrick Vieira ahead of you. You know what I mean? Not saying that our first 11 is at that level, but in the current context of where we're at, again, we're contending for titles, and this team is not a joke. We have good players. We have top quality players who are fighting for leagues and whatnot. So yeah, this isn't the Arsenal when you had Theo Walcott in front of you, or you had, with all due respect to those kind of players, and
Nicholas Pepe or
yeah, and even further back, Bentner
Willian
and those guys, yeah, like so we're talking about serious players here, so yeah, he's gonna have to fight for his place and earn his spot, and try and get in the team. So yeah, but I don't think the demands are as much as what was been made out in the media. I think that's a little bit unfair to Ethan. We don't know for sure, but like any young hungry player, it speaks to his character that yeah, he's going to want assurances of that there's a pathway. I think that's definitely something that has involved in it, and I think that's fair. But I think he will resign. I'm not too worried. But we will talk about other players other crazy things that Arsenal might be doing in the moment that will maybe affect his.
No. Let's talk about it because my I'm in the same boat as you, and I think for me, and again, like, I'm glad you said it. It is alleged. Some of these things that I'm talking about, it is alleged that when Yuri's asked for all this stuff. But for me, when I look at it, I'm like, okay, I understand that we had all these injuries. We're gonna get to the three big names afterwards, but if I'm on Yuri, yeah, I'm looking at why are we going after Madueke? And this is no like I just want to put it I just want to put this clear as day. I understand we've been signing a lot of players from Chelsea. This has, for me personally, and I know CJ, you may not agree with this. I could care less if he's from Spurs, Madueke. He's a good talent, but the price that Chelsea wants, which it is exactly what the price that Madueke should be going for. Look at what Anthony Elanga went. And to be honest with you, if Anthony Elanga is worth 50, 60 mil, Madueke is actually worth more because Madueke is a bigger talent.
Oh, I don't know about that one. We might have to disagree on that one. I do not think that guy's worth north of 50 mil. I think that's absurd money for him, personally.
who? Elanga?
For Madueke, maybe both, but
For both is absurd. But if you're giving Elanga that, what is Elanga won? Madueke just won Conference League. Yes, I understand it's Conference League, but he also helped this team get to the Champions League spot. Whereas Elanga, like,
I think individually, Elanga had a much better season than Madueke. I
Yeah.
think Laurent, you'll agree with me that Madueke did not have a great season for Chelsea. And honestly, I saw his performance yesterday too, and all Arsenal fans, I was seeing online Arsenal fans are raging because of Madueke's performance yesterday.
yeah, but
And
he was
he just
playing left wing. That's not his that's not his favorite side.
See,
And
the
that's
thing
the
is, I don't agree with that. I think as a winger, you should be comfortable on both sides. Personally, that's just my personal opinion, right? Like, and yes, I understand. Like, obviously, you have a dominant foot, but the way that guy is playing, right, on that side, one on the left wing, right, it's just yeah, it's not good to see. Sorry, I just had to interject on that.
So Elanga had 17 goal involvements, 6 goals, 11 assists, and Madueke had 7 goals, 3 assists.
so
So
repeat that. Repeat that one more time.
Elanga had
Yeah,
17 goal
17.
involvements,
Yeah.
6 goals, 11 assists, and Madueke had 10, 7 goals, 3 assists. So
And how many games played?
32 for Madueke, 36 for Elanga. Sorry, 38 for Elanga. My apologies, 38. So, anyways, I'm getting away from the point. So, for me, I still think Madueke is a good talent. However, when you have someone as hungry as Wanyeri, why even have these rumors come out? And from the sounds of it, these rumors are serious.
So serious. That's the
These
scary
rumors
part.
are very serious. On the flip side, the one part that I don't even know if Laurent knows this, and I'm not sure if you know this, CJ. Chelsea actually have to sell. The money that they're making from the FIFA Club World Cup, which is if they do win it, so close to like 100 mil, they can't use that on their books. They have to sell, or they can be sanctioned from UEFA Champions League and not be able to play this year. I think the last reporting that I saw, I think it was from David Ornstein, or I believe it was Fabrizio Romano. They have to sell close to like 60, 70 mil, or they won't be able to play in the Champions League. So, like, there's that aspect of it too. But if you're gonna spend 50 mil on a Madueke, I want that to be after we do the big 3 signings. And I keep saying the big 3 signings and the triple signings. I'm talking about an Eze, talking about Rodrigo, I'm talking about Gyökeres. If we're getting Madueke on top of these players, I'm all for it. I'm all for the depth. And if I'm a Wanyeri, I asked him, I'm like, okay, send me out on loan. Let me get game time and let me come back and fight for my spot. Because if Eze comes in, I think it's almost lights out for Martin Odegaard. Because I don't see Odegaard staying there for much longer if an Eze comes in. So for me, I hope that to the extent that the rumors are that Wanyeri is asking for the game time, I really hope it's not to that extent that he's like trying to push his way out. I hope it's more so him just being like, hey, if you're gonna go for a Madueke and I'm here, like, then what am I? What part of this squad am I? What's my importance in the squad? And I do think Madueke is good, but I wouldn't want him as the only one, right? Like if we get a Madueke for 50 mil and that prevents us from getting an Eze, Rodrigo, or dare I say Gyökeres, dude.
That's exactly what's gonna happen. That's exactly what's gonna happen. There's no way we're gonna get him on top of the others. Like that's the problem. If we had that kind of
That's a
money to
worry.
spend, yeah, if we had that kind of money to spend, like sure, because like you said, he is a decent player, but not for that money. I'm so sorry. Not for that money. Not for what the other issues it's gonna cause in the squad in terms of that's gonna take funds out of the kitty for another big signing that we need. That's gonna hamper Ethan Wanyeri's playing time and development. And again, we're getting a guy who, yeah, this is just supposed to be a backup. You know, we're fine with the Nørgaards and the Kepas and the Christian Mosquera if he comes in because those guys are coming in for a minimal fee, relatively speaking, right? But if you're spending north of 50 mil on a guy who can't even get in our first 11, like that's not where our money needs to go
He's
because
not
we're
a
not,
level raiser.
yeah, we're not an oil money club. We're not a Man City or whatever where we can just spend cash for no reason, cash on the hip to spend. Like we always try and be cute and smart with our money. And 100% spending that kind of money on Madueke means we can kiss any chances of Rodrigo and Eze bye-bye. Even without Madueke, I still don't think we get all three of Gyökeres, Rodrigo, and Eze. I think for sure we'll get Gyökeres, and we'll talk about that in a minute. That's off stalling as well. But once we get a Gyökeres, I think, those rumors of we want the striker, left winger, and Eze, I don't believe that either, because again, this is Arsenal Football Club. We're not getting three big signings of that magnitude. Mind you, we already spent big money on Zubimendi. So I think if and when Gyökeres gets completed, I think we would only get one of Eze and Eze or Rodrigo. And I think we spoke about this last week, Mehrdad. You were quite optimistic, I think, that we could do all three. I don't see Arsenal doing that unless we have a significant sale like a Martinelli. But I don't think. I think regardless, I think we'd only get one of Eze or Rodrigo. We don't have that kind of money.
The rumors that are coming out right now, I mean, we can kind of get into it right now. Like, the rumors that are coming out is that they've made some groundwork with Crystal Palace, as Crystal Palace 168 million, and I think what Arsenal is trying to discuss is like
installment
50 million in installments, and then bonuses that would take it up to 68 million, obviously with performance, winning, cups, trophies, Premier League, Champions League, and things like that, that would take it up to the 68 million amount. And they want to do 3 installments because they want to have the upfront cash to get a Rodrigo or to get a Gyökeres done. So if they're doing the groundwork for that, and I do believe that that is the case, because apparently Spurs joined the race, and as they essentially said, it's, I'll either stay at Palace or my first choice is to go to Arsenal. So if they're doing stuff like that, I do think that they are serious. The one thing that's worrying is the rumors came out today that Liverpool have entered the chat for Rodrigo. And obviously, with the tragic passing of Diogo Jota and the rumors that Luis Diaz might be going to Bayern, there is a big, big gaping hole. A big gaping hole there.
Yeah, I don't see us get. I think we can get Eze. I think that was more realistic for us. It doesn't sound like we're gonna get Rodrigo. I'm gonna try and avoid the excitement and getting myself worked up for that. I don't think we're getting him. I think we could get Eze. That's the one I think we can get.
Yeah, and I think
personally,
if somehow Rodrigo ends up in Liverpool, you can kiss the league goodbye. I'll be straight up. I'll say it.
Laurent, you agree with that?
Put me on blast. I don't care. I say kiss the league goodbye.
Wait, kiss who?
The league,
if they get Rodrigo,
Liverpool,
kiss the league goodbye.
Nah.
Gakpo, Rodrigo, Salah, Verts right behind him.
Yeah, no, I mean it's
Szoboszlai, Gravenberch.
Yeah, no, but I wouldn't say kiss the league goodbye.
Frimpong, Konate, Van Dijk, Alisson.
No, bro. I see what you're saying, but bro, come on. At the end of the day, bro, this is the Premier League, man. We don't fucking wave white flags as the signs of like teams having, like phenomenal talent on the roster, bro. This is not this, bro. This is like that Liga, like nah, man. We don't do that over here, bro. Like, yeah, you respect the quality, but bro, like it gets rugged come game day, like it truly. I always feel like in the Premier League at times, like it's truly like whoever comes in sharp on that day. You know what I mean? Like when you see some the way some of these games play out, you might have a team that edges out, but man, like that team came to play. You see what I'm saying? And it's like teams respect that, bro. Like even the cities, like when they were there, right? Just like no, if Rodrigo goes there, it's quality all around, phenomenal manager, but no, I think bro, like Arsenal, City, right? Chelsea, may I add?
Chelsea.
Yeah, no, but the other teams are going to have their quality as well to go toe to toe, right? So no,
okay.
But how likely is that though that Rodrigo is?
I mean, if the rumor is Luis Diaz is on the verge of leaving, because Bayern want him, and if he does leave, there's a gaping hole there, and they would sell Luis Diaz for probably like 65-ish mil, maybe a little bit more, maybe a little bit less, and that's pretty much the full amount for a Rodrigo.
Very early right now at this stage.
It
But
is. Listen. But we have to talk about it because they're the Premier
yeah,
League champs. In the league phase of the Champions League, they were the best team. Like they, they are up there. They are the darlings of the Premier League right now. And we have to be honest. We have to have that tough conversation, right?
yeah, I more so meant early in the sense that, like, in terms of us worrying at this stage that Rodrigo will go there. Honestly, I
Oh,
think the Rodrigo thing will be dragged out for a bit. There could be a few clubs in contention, especially now that they're knocked out of the Club World Cup. There was always discussions that Rodrigo's future would be more so sorted once the Club World Cup finishes, and like the transfer talks will ramp up once that's done. But yeah, we've been linked earliest with Rodrigo, and I think that's mostly been a fans link. That's our dream. That's the fans' dream signing, more so than the club pushing for it. But yeah, we always knew that once the Club World Cup finished, and Rodrigo will have more of his I guess future sorted once he talks with the manager and whatnot. Like, more clubs are definitely going to enter the chat. There's no way big clubs are going to look at that and let Arsenal, for example, have a free hit at a player like that. I heard PSG might be involved. Man City needs a left winger. um yeah,
how is
man.
Man City able to sign these many players when they have 115 charges and Leon get relegated? Crystal Palace might lose their opportunity to play in Europa. Uh, Chelsea have to like sell to be able to play in Champions League, and they're still talking about the 115. How does that make sense?
Yeah, I don't know.
Just give a verdict. Whether they're absolved of all the fucking blasphemy, so what? Okay, just give a freaking verdict. This is ridiculous. Like, who are they paying under the fucking? Who are they paying under the table, man? It's ridiculous. They spent like 300 mil pretty much from January till now. 300 mil.
Yeah, must be
Woo!
nice.
And they lost to their father, Al Hilal. Their baby daddy. Spanked them, bend them over and spanked them. Anyways, let's shift gears to something that's gonna put CJ in a better mood and put a smile on his face, hopefully. Victor Gyökeres. CJ, it's all you. Tell me.
Fuck, you want something you want that to put a smile on my face? Are you hearing the talks today or the last 24 or 48 hours of
Yes,
the deal
yes,
stalling?
yes.
Fuck, bro, this club stresses me out. Like,
Wait, I swear that's like a done deal, bro. Last I heard, it was
no,
They're
like,
bro,
4 million
no.
apart, apparently.
This is what, again, no, no, no. See, now you're gonna get me going, bro. This is gonna do the opposite of put a smile on my face, bro. I'm
Hold
fucking
on, wait.
cheesed.
Hold that thought. Let me go upstairs. Let me grab some popcorn and come back.
Fuck, bro. I'm actually cheesed, man. Like, on Sunday, apparently it was close to a here we go. Now it's typical Arsenal. Now talks have stalled because we're haggling over 4 or 5 mil because Sporting wants that extra 4 or 5 mil up front. We're asking if we can, structure it differently. Are you serious, bro? 4 5 million? We're debating over, bro. Just get it over the fucking line, bro. Are you guys kidding me right now? That's what's holding up the deal. Come on, the structure of 4 or 5 million pounds, 5 million euros. Like, surely, man, we had representatives fly out to Portugal to Sporting to get the deal done. They come back without the deal being done. It's Portugal to England and vice versa. That in Europe, that's not too long of a flight, man. Just come back with the thing signed, with the deal wrapped up. How do we come back still at a stalemate? Like, bro, come on. Like, we take so long to do every fucking thing. If we want to pay things in installments, bro, the way we cheap out on these signings and want to do everything in installments and the next time I go to England and I go to the Emirates, right? The way they charge for ticket prices and the way they charge for food and drinks and beer, bro. Next time I order a beer at the concession stand when I go to the Emirates, I'm gonna ask them if I can pay in installments. I'm gonna tell them I'll pay my second dose of the beer the next time I come back for the following year, the next game. Like, it's the fucking joke, bro. We want to release new merch out every year. We have one of the highest ticket prices in the league, bro.
Bro, we
Arsenal, the
release
club.
everything. We release like fucking anything and t-shirts, underwear, fucking like accessories for your
Water
dog's
bottles, like,
dog, water bottles, the water that goes inside the water bottle, the
fam,
water bottle that's inside that water bottle that creates that water bottle, like whatever you can think of. You want a new toenail? Oh, we'll sell you a toenail that says Arsenal on it
Yeah,
for
yeah.
100 mil.
It'll have the cannon on it, and we'll sell you the
Bro,
toenail
like
for 250 mil.
it's fucking insane. It
Like
is insane. And Laurent, you think I'm joking? Like I kid you not, like every 2 weeks they're like come out
merch,
with a
new
new
merch.
like merch, like t-shirt, like stadium jacket, backpack, like it's like okay, but can we
Where's the
focus?
signings?
Yeah, like yeah, precisely. Precisely. Where are
Like
the
we
signings?
Arsenal PR, Arsenal as a business, Arsenal financial institution is Champions League winning quality as a business entity, as a PR stunt.
Yeah.
Top notch, with the top of the league for that, for sure. Because bro, as a football club, man, we're just so fucking loafed, and we just try and be too cute, and it's starting to annoy me now. Like truly, bro. I knew this was gonna kind of happen because everyone was hyping already on the Sunday, saying, "Yeah, pretty much Gyökeres done." I'm like, no, I'm not getting too. I'm excited, but I'm gonna kind of hold my reservations until it's official, until we get the here we go. Damn near until the guy's holding up the fucking shirt, because anything can collapse, right? At any point. Like I just want to, for my peace of mind, I need to know that this is official properly.
And like
'Cause
the sad part is, and I don't think you even brought this up yet, Gyökeres himself gave up $2 million of his own money.
bro, the guy is begging. He's doing everything he can. You heard he even broke up with his girlfriend, saying, "Yo,
Yes.
I'm going to England."
Yes. Like
Fam,
No way.
if yeah,
those are the
bro.
rumors. The man is trying to leave everything behind in Portugal. He offed his girl. He's giving up his wages. He's packed his bags. He's told his friends and family he's off this.
Yeah.
Bro, the man is
He literally
desperate.
he called the president. He said, "You need to get this deal done." And he even told the president, he's like, "If you don't get this done, I'm never playing for you ever again.
Mm.
Like I'd rather go on loan and do whatever." It's like, dude, if it's 4 mil, just fucking pay it. He gave up $2 million. Like, how much more? Like,
Insane,
I think
bro.
it was last year or 2 years ago when we were talking about Dusan Vlahovic and he was like dicking us around.
Yeah.
And like Arteta, I think in one of his press conferences, he said he's like, I want players that want to be here.
It doesn't get any more beg to be here than what Gyökeres is doing. And we're talking about a top striker in Europe who's begging.
This man is on a strike, gave up his wages, like gave up his girl, gave up his family, gave up everything. He gave
Where
up the pom pom for this shit, bro. Like, what the fuck are we talking about? 4 mil? That's pocket change
fucking
for
crazy.
entities like this, man. Like, fuck sakes.
Mind you, by the way, the signing itself, the striker, it's the scarier part for me is that Sesko was a priority, and you can see that all this time because the way Gyökeres has been desperate to come, we could have wrapped this deal up weeks ago. I'm convinced, but Sesko was the priority. That's the scarier
Because of
part.
his age.
His age, the long term vision, the project, bro. That's the scary part is that Sesko was a priority because I would have preferred Gyökeres. I think a lot of people would have preferred Gyökeres because we need that ready-made now striker, right? That guy who's ready to go, ready to bang now. Because we're in win now territory. We're not in build another.
We're not where Chelsea is building and buying the statues and buying the statues on top of the statues and getting 17 statues that look the same. We're there.
Essentially, yeah, precisely what you said. Like yeah, bro. I'm tired of these buildings. I'm tired of the building blocks. We don't need another project striker. We need that ready-made, ready to go guy now. And so by hook or by crook, by fluke, it seems like we're gonna get Gyökeres because we're not gonna get Sesko. Which is
But
what I
yo,
think.
them asking 85 to 90 mil for Sesko?
Yeah, get the fuck out of my face.
Like, bro, the man's 22. He hasn't done shit. Like, if I'm
That's
gonna
what I'm
pay
saying.
90 mil, I'd rather add another 50, 60 mil and get the ready-made Alexander Isak.
Yeah, exactly.
Are you wild? You want 90 mil?
Yeah, for a guy who's got 13 goals in the Bundesliga. Like, get out of here. So that's the scary part is that we were holding out for that guy. But anyways, by hook or by crook, by fluke, we landed on Gyökeres, which is what most of us sensible people would have really wanted, because clearly that's the guy that can. I truly believe that this guy could be like our Holland, because people come in and talk about style of play. Holland didn't fit the style of play. He wasn't a Pep type of player. He just banged goals. That's what all we need Gyökeres to do. If Gyökeres, he doesn't have to fit the style of play. He doesn't have to play like Jesus plays or Havertz plays. You know, just be a
That
striker,
hasn't
be a number
worked.
nine. No,
That
it's
hasn't
correct.
worked.
Thank you very
That has
much.
not worked.
Thank you very much.
It's worked to get us to this point, but on those games that when we're playing down to the level of our opponents, you need a killer. You
Thank
need
you
a
very
killer
much.
that gets that one chance that when you're randomly down 1-0 to a Southampton and you have a beautiful chance that Saka or Martinelli give that cross or a Trossard or Declan Rice, you need that killer instinct to be at that back post. You need that killer instinct to just take the ball and say, "Give me the ball. I'm just going to shoot on net." Laurent was just raving about that with Nicholas Jackson. You need that. We don't have that. We haven't had that.
That's exactly you're spot on with that because Sesko is more like a Kai Havertz and a Jesus kind of player. Link
Yeah.
up play, be cute, link up play, bring others into play. But as you said, that hasn't worked for 2-3 years now. So why are we going to get a similar type of profile of striker and when it's not working?
Doesn't
We
doesn't make
clearly need to do
sense.
something different,
Like it
right?
doesn't. I think I said it. I do agree with the age profile and like having the project for profit sustainability, and we're talking about like Arsenal, the business. I do think Sesko would have been better.
And sure, maybe he does have more potential in the future, but we don't have time for that
Correct.
right now, do we?
He has a higher ceiling,
Mhm.
but the floor that Gyökeres is coming in at is not only going to raise our floor, but it's going to increase our ceiling exponentially for the next 2-3 years. I firmly believe that because he's in that prime, and if we get well, obviously we're keeping this team together for the next 2-3 years. Like that's going to be a scary roster.
Yep.
So I have a question, and I want to pose this. I don't know if Laurent, you're really familiar with Arsenal's transfer windows, um, but if and you have to you know play the game with me. If we were to obviously we got Nørgaard, Zubimendi. Now, if Arsenal were to get the thing done for Eze and Gyökeres, would you say that this is Arsenal's best transfer window in history?
Is this for me first or Laurent?
I don't like Lauren, you can answer, but I don't think you know like the history of our transfer window, so I don't know if this would be
Yeah, I wouldn't
applicable
be
to
able
you.
to. Yeah, I wouldn't be able to answer.
Um, so it's more so for you, CJ, because I know our transfer windows. Um, so I'm curious what you think.
Mm. Would this be our best one if we get Eze and Gyökeres?
On top of obviously Zubimendi, Nordgaard,
Yeah, yeah.
and like we can add Mascara, like we say we got Mascara.
And that's so this is basically no Rodrigo.
Basically, no Rodrigo yet.
Okay, so the next two big signings would be Gyökeres and Eze. Would this be our best?
Because I want to give you a realistic question. Obviously, if I put Rodrigo in there, your answer is gonna be
Hands
yeah,
down.
100%. Yeah,
Hands
100%.
down. Yeah,
So
yeah.
I'm not gonna ask you like a given question. Like you can take Rodrigo out and put a Madueke if you really want to. Because I'm like you know what I mean. Like I'm pretty sure that
Don't do that. That's gonna water everything down.
no, but like you know what I mean. Like that's something
Yeah,
that
yeah.
realistically could happen. But let's just go with no Madueke, no Rodrigo, just Yakrad, Mascara, Eze, Zubimendi, and Norgard. Is that our best window in club history? And Kepa, sorry, I got Kepa too.
I'm actually still gonna say yes. I think because it would be the first time that we've addressed areas in the squad that we've needed to fill all in one window. Um, so we've needed two midfielders. We got those two midfielders because we replaced Partey and Jorginho who left. We brought in two new midfielders. We needed a backup keeper. We brought in the backup keeper. If we get the Mascara, we needed a defender. We bring in the defender. And obviously the striker. We've needed a striker for 4 years now, but we'll finally bring him in this window. And it's not just bringing in any striker. It's not just bringing in any midfielder. We're bringing in Zubimendi, who is one of the hottest midfielders on the market this summer, in a key area for us. So he goes straight into our starting 11, and it would be the same for Gyökeres. Another striker who one of the hottest strikers on the market, which is even crazier that the guy's begging to come to us, and we're not seeing the vision and just getting it done. Because we're not talking about a scrub striker who plays for a low level team and he's begging to come to Arsenal and he's not doing the business. We're talking about a striker who's been doing the business and one of the hottest in the market who wants to come to us. Anyways, so for that reason, I think yeah, a signing like that something we desperately need to come into the team, and it's proven quality. definitely I think would make this one of the best windows. And then on top of that, you get like an Eze, who I'm not a huge fan of him playing in this position, but he can play on the left. But we would mostly need him for his versatility, maybe centrally because again, Odegaard, he needs some help in there. We had trouble breaking down low blocks last year, and Eze with his unpredictability, sorry, with his creativity, I think that would definitely help us and give us a key a different factor, right? A different side to our game that we haven't seen over the last couple of years. We've been pretty rigid, we've been pretty structured, we've been pretty predictable, and as it gives us that unpredictability. So I think all in all, like long story short, because we'd be addressing so many things in one window, in one outing with quality players, like the big three would be the Gyökeres, Eze, and Zubimendi. That is a big three. I think you'd have to say that it is our best. Would be our best window, to be honest with you, especially with the financial outlet that would come out of that.
Mhm.
I think another top window was the Declan Rice window with
Yeah.
Timber and dare I say it, obviously Havertz was involved in that. And David Raya, I think that was a big window as well. I'm curious to know what you think is actually our biggest transfer window, if not this one. There hasn't been many, right? We haven't been super satisfied as Arsenal fans coming out of a transfer window.
No, I think there's been like because the way that I framed the question, I'm talking about the best window. I think there's been some individual signings that I never
Yes,
thought
for
that we
sure.
would get through, like Alexis Sanchez,
Ozil.
yeah, Ozil. Like I was like, what? Like I remember I was like sitting at Euro, I was like, wait, what?
Yeah.
We got Ozil? Even Aubameyang, just the way that it went. Um, this one's a little bit controversial. But Thomas Partey, obviously, before all this alleged stuff that's been happening, um, but yeah, like even for him, because like we paid the release clause.
Hmm.
Like we're just like, you know what, fuck it, we want him. Let's just pay the release clause, right?
Hmm.
Like the manner in which that we did that, we didn't negotiate. We're just like, you know what, you're being hardball. There's a release clause. We're gonna activate it.
Hmm.
Um, but I do think that this would be the best window, and I think the cherry on top for me would be pushing for a Rodrigo, right? Like if they can get that installment in place for Eze, if they can just get Gyökeres over the line and not, pay the 4 mil, but say, hey, we'll pay the 4 mil, but we're gonna pay it in installments. Even if you have to add an extra mil and maybe add a couple bonus here and there to get the installments that you need, do it. Because the amount of money that you're going to bring in by winning potentially a Premier League, winning potentially a Champions League, trying to do a double, maybe dare I say a treble, like it's worth the extra 5-6 mil that you're going to pay over the course of his contract, right? So I do think that so far this is the best one. If we get it, even without a Rodrigo, I do think that this is the best one. Because David Raya, I don't really count for that year. Kai Havertz, in my opinion, I think it's been a successful signing. I think he's changed the game for us, and I think there's a lot of things that he does right that not a lot of Arsenal fans want to admit. But I do think that he is going to have to adapt again, because if we get a Gyökeres, he needs to accept that he might be a squad player, and he has to fight for his role. And if he does come in, we may go into a 4-4-2, and he might have to play off Gyökeres, right? We may have like a Zubimendi, Rice, Eze, Odegaard, and then up top we'll have a Havertz, Gyökeres if we want to give Saka a rest, right? Like who knows? It gives that flexibility, and he has to be adaptable to that. So for me, I do think I agree with you. I think this one probably the best in history. Like if we get Rodrigo, like that's almost like when we were almost close to getting Cristiano Ronaldo. So, I have one other question, and I know this one is a little bit touchy. And I want to preface this, but this is all alleged things that have happened to a Mr. Thomas Partey. The rape accusations. Again, it is alleged. But I wanna get both your guys' takes. So during COVID, Mesut Ozil was kind of the face of the players who were scolded for not taking a pay cut because the company wasn't there was no soccer at that time. There was no football, sorry. We were in the middle of a pandemic, and he was scolded for that, and he was pretty much outed of the squad. Aubameyang, for different reasons, was outed. Matteo Guendouzi, again, outed. Nicola Pepe, poor guy. I think he was quite talented, but I think that they just didn't like him. For the better part of the last 2 years, apparently Arsenal knew about all the charges, and they continue to support the player. Mason Greenwood, as soon as Manchester United found out about the charges, they severed ties and they just kind of said, "Okay, bye bye. We'll bring you back once we understand what the final verdict is." Laurent, I'll pose this to you at first because I've seen a lot of other clubs kind of get at Arsenal. What's your take on this? Like, do you think Arsenal was right to protect Thomas Partey and like support him over the last 2 years with the alleged charges of rape and sexual assault? It is a little bit heavy, but I just it wouldn't be a podcast if we didn't talk about it because that's one of the biggest news that's out there right now.
So in essence, you're asking me if they should have gone the Manchester United route and right off the bat just take them off the roster, right? Or kind of just cast them aside until they get sorted out.
Or maybe address it in a different way, but
And
like
that's tough because, like you said, right? It's alleged, and at that stage, right? It's all it was accusation, right, from one party.
yeah,
To the
he's
net.
been officially arrested. From the most updated news, I think it was a day ago. Um, that he was um arrested about 5 counts of rape and 1 count of sexual assault. Um, you know,
Man, fuck, this is a tough one, man.
you know what I mean? Like it's
Uh, okay, so my take on it is, yeah, this is tough
so the
because these are
the
serious
alleged
charges.
yeah, the
Yeah.
alleged incidents took place between 2021 and 2022.
hmm
Obviously, Thomas Partey has denied all charges against him, and his lawyer said Thomas Partey denies all charges against him. He was fully cooperative with the police and CPS throughout their 3-year investigation. He now welcomes opportunity to finally clear his name.
hmm Yeah, no, so okay. A part of me is like, well, it would seem appropriate to, I guess, cast the player aside until they all get sorted out. But then at the same time, right, if you do that, these things can take a lot of time. And we're talking about players' careers here, right? Um, Development, right? And obviously, right, the less games they play, uh, the more they kind of just get cast into the shadows, just overall, right? In terms of prospects, even beyond the current club they're currently at, right? And also, right, in terms of just their game itself, right? Like you put a halt into the development of their own, right? Of their own game and their abilities and all that. Um, yeah, no, I'm gonna take a stance here. It's not gonna be the politically correct one, but so long as cases like that are right, like it's accusations, they haven't been officially charged.
Like an
I
innocent, you're innocent until proven guilty type
Yes,
deal. Okay.
yes. I'd have to say that because now it becomes a dangerous situation, right? Where if the reverse is true, if we start doing that to players, and now people can just come out and accusing players left and right, right? You see what I'm saying? Like,
Well, there have been horror stories, especially in the NBA, where a
mm,
lot of um, and and I before I continue with this, I do want to preface this by neither Laurent, CJ, or myself condone any of this behavior. Like it doesn't need to, like I just have to say it, but I feel like it doesn't need to be said because if these allegations are true, like there's no excusing it. So I just want to put that out there, right? Sexual assault, rape, all these things, there's no excuse. Like it's not right. Period. Hard stop. There's nothing else to say to explain it. Period. Okay. But there are select number of individuals who in the past, especially NBA, and I think Shaquille O'Neal was one of them. I think there's a few NBA stars that, they've had certain individuals try to stain their name and make false accusations to try to get money from them.
mm,
Right?
yeah.
Kobe Bryant had that issue, LeBron James, Michael Jordan, right? And again, like the allegations that Thomas Partey is having, like if they are true, they're wrong. Period. There's nothing else to say about it. But I do agree with you, Laurent. Like we're getting to that point where football it it's an entertainment, right? And we can't be the judge and jury without all the facts. And like I've been notorious for saying that I think Man City is guilty, so I'm kind of being a hypocrite right now. But it's true. They're innocent until proven guilty. With Mason Greenwood, I think the situation was a little bit different. I think it was like factually, like, they had information, he was charged, and then it came out that like no, it was, um so I don't know.
Even though we all heard the tape with that one.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like it's
Wait, there was a tape?
yeah,
Yeah. It was bad.
yeah. Like you see
Like
it in the NFL
wait,
too,
like a
right?
videotape? Like video evidence or like audio?
Audio.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I see. Okay, I see.
Like you've seen it in the NFL, like the assault, like um it's unfortunate that it happens, and it's terrible, but those ones are like more like, okay, here's the facts, like you can visually see it. Like these
Hmm.
are all alleged things. Um, so I don't know, what's your take, Laurent? CJ, sorry. Because there's a lot of, I mean, obviously we know British media loves this, and they're trying to put a stain on Arsenal as an entity, saying that Arsenal should have handled it a little bit differently. They should have suspended him, yada yada yada. But what's your take on this? And again, I do want to preface this so any listener, like, we understand that this is a very touchy subject. We're not trying to say what Thomas Partey did is right or wrong. It is alleged, so we have to put that out there. And if it is true, he's got to face the music.
Yeah, for me, I feel like I'm not in a position. I feel like to talk about Partey's position as well. Like, sorry, I'm not in a position to talk about his case and his situation, right? Because it was alleged all this time, and then now he's been charged, but he still has the opportunity to clear his name. So
Mhm.
he has the right to a fair trial to clear his name. And yeah, until such time, there's no, we can't speak really, too much, to be honest, on him, and whether that's slander him or sing his praises or whatever the case may be. You just kind of got to stay neutral to it for now, and let the case play out, and let the people who need to handle it, right? That's not us. That's the courts, that's the judges, that's those superiors, right, who deal with those sort of things. And so right now, as you said, this is it's good that we talk about it, because yeah, we're a podcast that we don't shy away from these topics. We don't shy away from big topics. Some others may do that, but we like to cover all things on here. And so, especially as it's related to football and it's related to Arsenal. So yeah, man, uncomfortable conversations can be had, and should be had when they need to, because in this case, we're talking about a very recent former player of ours, somebody that, there were contract talks about, potentially extending his contract. We don't know the ins and outs of the club. I think the club is facing a lot of unfair criticism right now as well. Of course, rival fans and the media will always do that. Any opportunity maybe to kind of, and not just an Arsenal thing, but any big entity, in any walk of life, there's always, if there's a little bit of an inch to kind of slander a big entity, a big corporation, any people will take that and run with it, right? So in this case, Arsenal is the on the receiving end of this. We don't know. There's a lot of things we don't know. How much did Arsenal know about? How much did the club know about? How much did Arteta know about? Did they know anything at all, right? So we don't know those details fully. So again, people shouldn't be in a position to speak or even slander Arsenal. But again, I understand that's easy to do. Arsenal can be an easy target when you're that big of an entity. Like I said, people will use any little thing. So I'm not even in a position to speak on Arsenal's situation. Now, if Arsenal did know the depths of all this and they knew he was guilty and all these things, well, shame on the club. And if you know all these things to be true, for example, and this is more serious than what is led to believe in the media and all those things. Like if this is actually serious and behind the scenes, Arsenal knew about it a lot longer than we all knew about it, and you're still trying to extend his contract and things like that, then yeah, like that's a big no-no, right? That does not look good at all. But again, Thomas Partey is innocent until proven guilty. That's what it is. The problem is with these type of allegations, in the day and age that we live in, and with social media and things like that, there's certain accusations that can be put to somebody's name that, whether they're actually innocent or guilty or whatever the case may be, they can't distance themselves from. And sexual assault and rape being one of those things. That's one of the biggest touchiest subjects, in the world. It's always been like that. And rape and sexual assault, that's a big thing. It's a big deal. So,
and rightfully so.
Right.
Rightfully so, because if the allegations are true, rightfully so.
Right. Exactly. And so because that's such a big, a massive, delicate talking point and that sort of thing, he can't distance himself from that. So from that's attached to his name, whether he's innocent or he's not, it's almost like you're guilty until proven innocent, not as opposed to the other way around. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When you have an allegation like that attached to your name, it's literally up to you to clear your name. So it almost feels like, yeah, you're not innocent until proven guilty. You're literally guilty until you prove that you're innocent in something like this, right? And we see it with all the away grounds for the last 2-3 years. Me and you, Mehrdad, will know this for sure. We watched every Arsenal game. Almost every away ground, fans boo Thomas Partey. I don't even know if you've noticed that, Laurent, but anytime Thomas Partey would get on the ball for the last 2 or 3 seasons since this first broke 2-3 years ago, anytime any away ground that he goes to, he gets booed more often than not when he's on the ball. There's chants. Yeah. There's songs about him and there's chants about him that the away fans will sing and stuff like that. And it's been pretty serious.
Pretty
Now,
nasty. It's pretty nasty.
yeah, and this has been sort of watered down in the last couple of years since it first broke. I think it first broke 2 or 3 summers ago, Mehrdad, if you remember. It was like the summer that Jesus came in and whatnot.
It was 2022, no?
Yeah, something like that. But then, yeah, since that year gone, it went a little bit quiet, certainly in the media. But the fans in the away grounds didn't forget it, right? So the fans would always boo him up until this season. He's still been getting booed at a lot of away grounds. So in those cases, yeah. But mind you, at this time, again, being innocent until proven guilty, unfortunately, because that was first brought out onto his name in a public sphere, he's now pretty much guilty in everyone's minds. I don't care what the courts have said. I don't care that it hasn't been official yet. This has been attached to your name. Boom, you're guilty in all of our eyes, right? So he has to prove his innocence as opposed to the other way around, and that's the case. And so that's where we stand, right? And that's where it stands. And now he's been officially charged. So it's progressed one step further than just allegations. So he's been officially charged now. He has to clear his name in the courts. And if he is guilty, right, then shame on him. He's a scumbag. And
shame on you.
That's exactly what it is, because we do not condone those things. I don't condone those things. It's not right. We all know that, right? So he would be considered, shame on him. He's scum for that. But we don't know for sure, right? Until such time. But yeah, I think one thing for sure is that when you isolate, obviously Arsenal was looking at it from a footballing perspective, but when you look at Thomas Partey, the footballer, brilliant, needed in our side, as we saw this season. The games that he wasn't there, i.e. PSG first leg semifinals, he was missed, right? Thomas Partey, the footballer, is crucial to our club and to our success.
Yeah.
that's where it becomes touchy from Arsenal's perspective, because from a again, also not just the footballing side of things, the financial side of things, he's on big wages. So it's like you're on that big wages for as long as you're here and you're innocent again until proven guilty. You're gonna play, right? And that's, I guess, the stance that the club took. Now we're just gonna have to hope and give Arsenal the benefit of the doubt that they did not know anything and they're only finding things out at the same time that we are, which I don't think is maybe fully the case. There's ins and outs and there's things in depth that they know more than what we have public knowledge to. But yeah, that's the gist of it, man. It's a big subject. One thing is for sure, what Arsenal did, how they played it well was that Mehrdad, you saw the statement that came out. They made the statement basically once his contract expired as an Arsenal player, and now the statement came out was a former player, right? So he's no longer contracted at Arsenal. He's no longer currently a player. He's now a former player, and that's when the charges came out, right? Once that contract officially expired. So that part was pretty interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, I just thought it was important to have that conversation, and I do want to state it again, and I know I stated, I'm probably saying the same thing again. None of us condone that type of behavior whatsoever. If found guilty, like, face the music, because that's unacceptable behavior. 2025, 2026, 1995, like, that's doesn't matter what year, what time, what day, that's unacceptable behavior, period. To end it on a lighter note, it's time. PSG, Chelsea, as Michael Buffer always says, let's get ready to rumble.
Oh, no, stop. That right there just annoyed the fuck out of me, bro. Seeing that, bro, the way they're what's the word?
Americanizing?
Americanizing fucking football, bro. Nah, bro, why the fuck do we have a ring announcer before, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, the man made $250K by saying, let's get ready to rumble.
Fuck that, man, bro. You're already giving like WWE entrances, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, bro, how far you're like, nah, man.
I will start with my prediction, because I just want to, Laurent's plugging his ears because he doesn't want to hear it.
I want to hear this.
As usual, we're gonna pick the score and a goal scorer. I'm gonna go 3-1.
Oh, you prick! Wow.
3-1 PSG. And my goal scorer.
All right, mate.
My goal scorer, Osumane Dembele.
Oh, this guy is such a...
See, CJ, sometimes it pays to go first. It pays to go first.
Wait, I don't get it, CJ. You can just like piggyback off what he said.
I mean, yeah, it's not fun though, is it? I literally was gonna do that word for word bang on 3-1 PSG.
Bro,
Dembele.
Okay.
I'm gonna stick with my prediction.
Okay.
But I'm gonna do 3-1 PSG, but I'll pick a different goal scorer just for the sake of it. I mean, yeah, we don't get anything, clearly for these, so it's not like it's gonna matter anyways. So
this man's gonna say Donnarumma.
I stuck with my guy Fabian Ruiz last time. I'm gonna stick with him again, bro. Fabian Ruiz, yeah, let's get it in the final.
Oh shit, I'm so nervous for this. All right, Laurent.
Wait, so you guys are both 3-1s, eh?
Yeah.
This man's gonna 5-0 Chelsea. Cole Palmer hat trick. Nicholas Jackson 2 goals.
All right.
Man's trying to make it fire right now.
Chelsea, what do you have in store for me this Sunday?
A lot of heartbreak.
Surely the only thing you're thinking about is the scoreline and how much you guys are going to win by, because you already confidently said that Chelsea was going to deal with it. So
yeah. Hey man, no, I'll like just allow me to predict without you fucking.
Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Hove. Wait to the.
Damn, like what's the hesitation now, bro? Where's all the chest?
No, I'm trying to give like an accurate depiction of how this game is gonna go.
Because you realized that earlier you were being a little bit dramatic and out of pocket.
Definitely not.
Oh, okay. So then you shouldn't be hesitating. Look at this
No,
guy.
I'm thinking of something somewhere along between like 5-0 and 10-0. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I really gotta get my numbers right? Like,
That's what I figured.
yeah.
Oh shit!
But
I mean, we
yeah,
don't win a prize for this, so yeah, you could do that if you want.
All right.
Put 50 cents on a 10-0 Chelsea.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with 3-2 Chelsea.
Who scores?
Pedro. Oh, Pedro.
Neto.
Pedro Neto.
Oh,
Okay.
this guy's riding up for Neto. Yo, can I just say, bro? I know we're coming to an end of the pod, but we didn't get a chance to talk about this, and I wanted to talk about this so bad on the pod. This is just such a typical Chelsea thing, because how kind of silly does the Delap signing look like now? Like, this is one thing I'll say that Arsenal doesn't do, right? Like, we take too long to do things, and we're almost too calculated, but we'll never sign a striker and go and get another striker like 2 weeks or 3 weeks later. Because I don't know, bro. Like, Delap is now not going to get the chance to see if he is a big hit or a big success, because now he's going to be overshadowed by Pedro. You guys just got two strikers in the space of a month. Like,
Well,
I felt like that. I feel like that wasn't even always in the plans, in the works. You know what I mean? Maybe they saw João Pedro as a market opportunity after getting a Delap, but it's like now we're never really going to be able to see if Delap can be the main guy at a big club, because I think João Pedro is just going to come in and he's going to hug a lot of those minutes, if not most. He is the better player. Let's be real, in my opinion.
the curse of the number 9 jersey at Chelsea Football Club continues.
Well, but now it's up to the lap to fucking, when he gets those opportunities to show what he's about. And that's what's good about having players, especially when the players
Having a squad of
themselves.
45.
No, but for being real, when you have players, right? Mind you, bro, like I'm pretty sure you guys, these like, it's like to say sometimes there are good problems to have, right? If you guys had somewhere on that left wing to compete with Martinelli or whoever else, right? Oh, like that's amazing.
You have one player, not 7.
Okay, bro, we don't have 7, bro. Like for one position.
You have 7 goalkeepers.
Bro, we're not talking about our GKs, bro. We already know who our starting
Who?
starting dude is. Sanchez.
I hope you guys stick with him next season. From a rival perspective, I hope you guys stick with him.
Yeah, I hope you guys stick with him
I do
too.
not rate that guy.
Oh, yo, like you know what it is with him? He has as a shot stopper, he has the quality. There's no doubt. Fuck, that's the reason why he's still there. But it's those blunders.
Yes,
That
because in
just
the modern game, as a keeper, you need to be more than a shot stopper.
Yeah, no, I agree. But I don't, bro. There was one. I don't know if you guys seen this, bro. I was watching this and I was like, before it even happened, I was like, no, not please don't, please don't, please don't, please don't. And then he fucking goes and does it, bro. He threw the ball out. All he had to do was throw the ball out, and somehow when he threw the ball out, bro, it ended up on the other player's foot. Like, you see what I'm saying? And our player, I think it was to Kukurea, bro. He had so much space, so he just missed the target, bro. And it's like, I was like, what the hell is he doing, bro? And it's just shit like that. But it's like, like, and then like no goal came out of that, right? And then he has apart from that, he's just like, he has a great game. Apart from those small things, he has great games, right? So it's just like, yeah, it's like it's that. So I'm not too worried about him. But yeah, for the GK, bro, he's number one. For the striker position, the lap and bro, even João Pedro, I don't think it's cemented, bro. Like, yeah, he had two amazing goals on that debut, but like you still gotta work, bro. Like if I'm the manager, bro, I'm not allowing that to phase me in terms of seeing where the potential is, right? In terms of who my starting 9 is going to be, right? I still want all of them to come in and right, show the work, even the work rate. Jackson, work rate off the ball. I'll give him that. He has that work rate off the ball.
Surely Jackson leaves now. Surely.
It would depend on how the next. I mean, there's one more game in competition. I don't know if he's gonna have the time during preseason and beginning of next season, but
No, he's got to read the room. If I'm him, I'm gone. Clearly, you guys got in 2 strikers. You guys obviously don't want me. I'd be gone. Like, you got to read the room.
I'd go to AC Milan. I'd go to Juventus. I'd go to Serie A. I go to Roma. I go to Como. I go to, I get out of there. go to a league that my pressing will cause havoc. Because you're just pressing in the Premier League, which is a high press environment, doesn't really move the needle unless you're doing it right and unless you're doing it with the front three. You go to Italy, you go to Spain when the game pace is a little bit slower and you do something like that, yeah, you'll cause havoc. So yeah, so when you guys listen to this, next pod, either Laurent's gonna show up with a big smile on his face, chest out, arms out, or CJ and I are just gonna stare at him for the first 5 minutes of the podcast and say absolutely nothing.
Oh, fam, even longer. We'll stare at him until he has something to say, fam. We could sit there the whole hour in silence.
Yeah.
Bro, it's like I already told y'all, bro. Like, even if we do go out, we're gonna go out in such grandeur level of style that it's gonna be like, yo, y'all are gonna be on notice.
It's not
the reason
like
why
clipped like this, and he is sweating.
Bro, I'm as cool as a cucumber.
Bro, you're glistening. Your forehead is glistening with sweat.
I'm as cool as a cucumber, bro. But no, like I said, man. If you guys are gonna be speechless for those first 5 minutes, it's gonna be like, damn, bro, this Chelsea side is a problem. And so remember, bro, this is the PSG side that you guys been hyping, eh? So I don't want
you as well. Remember, your hero is in this game playing left back, Nuno Mendes, against your whoever winger he's gonna come up against. So don't act like you haven't been picking up, him and this PSG team as well. You know damn well how good this team is. So let's not forget now.
Bro, if anything, I was the one that was not hyping this team up until like late in the Champions League.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I wasn't like you guys were like, yo, bro, oh, PSG this, PSG that. I was always like, man, League that. Until they
came around to understanding.
Until they showed the quality, right? But everyone wants to see, yo, this is the best team in the world. I bet. So now we're gonna go up against the best team in the world, and we're gonna go out there and perform, and that's it. So I don't want to hear anything. Like,
no.
He's trying
don't even say we're gonna go out there and perform. No.
Yeah.
We're gonna go out there and beat them.
That's what you said. Is that not performing? Wait, is that not performing?
No, those are two different things, bro. Don't try that.
Wait, is that
No, you're trying to play play with the words. No. I'm not gonna let you have that shit. No.
Wait, hold on.
Say with your chest, Chelsea's going to go out there and win, not perform, win.
Those are two different things.
Because you can perform. Arsenal performed.
And lose.
Aston Villa performed, but they lost.
Correct.
Liverpool performed. They lost. No. You said that they're going to win and they're going to be crowned the best team in the world. Say it with your chest. Don't change it now because you know that sweat's glistening on your forehead, dog.
This guy's looking up to the
because I'm trying to
the heavens.
No. The reason why
how do I go back?
No. It's not even that. The reason why I was looking up is like, wait, because the teams you named, I don't even know if I would say if I would call that performance. If I'm being completely honest, bro, Liverpool, Salah gone, disappeared. Arsenal, bro.
You talk about Salah. I don't understand. I didn't know it's Salah FC. It's Liverpool. You play with 11 on 11.
Yeah, but still. It's like, yo, I don't know if I could call that performance, bro. Because like those teams did not look like
Aston Villa.
Huh? Aston Villa is the only team that I can say gave, and funny enough, the only reason why is because I'm talking about the pressing. They were willing to play PSG at their own game in terms of like pressing him and forcing the ball off them, right? But even then, bro, there were so many moments too with that where their players like Rashford, they were isolated and they just weren't taking it to them the way. Oh
my days!
What? No, for real though. Like when I'm saying perform, y'all know what I mean, bro. Like we're going in there and we're showing the world like why we deserve to be there, why we, like after we've been ruled out, like. The Chelsea, bro, you guys, the disrespect that Chelsea fans have been facing from, right? Like, you guys got to win the Conference League. Yo, you guys are expected to win the Conference League. And then we win it. And then, all right, let's chatter. And then suddenly we find ourselves in the Club World Cup, right? And now we're in the finals. And just like that, bro, just like that,
And
we
you're
have
gonna
it.
win, right? You're
We
gonna
have the
win, and
chance
you're gonna
to
do
then
the
show the
business.
world.
Oh, now no,
Look at
Caesar.
this
Now
guy
it's
is
the
changing. No,
chance.
no, 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 no,
Now
no,
it's
no.
the
Hey,
chance.
bro.
No, hold on,
down.
hold on. Let me finish. Let me finish. Let me finish. So I said just like that, right? We now have the chance to go up against the best team in the world, right? And make a name for ourselves, revitalize our name, right? Show that we're back, and that is exactly what we are going to do.
Because you're
Come
going
this
to win,
Sunday.
and you're gonna deal with them
Of
and give them the
course.
business because
Of
you're going to win.
course. We're going to of course.
Hold
Of
on, we want to
course.
hear you say it.
Of
And the way
course.
you started. So you're
Of
gonna win.
course. Now what, we're gonna deal with PSG?
Yeah.
Bro, we're gonna deal with those fucking Parisian baguettes, bro. We're gonna
Okay.
we're gonna
That's all
pack
we
the
wanted
baguettes
to hear.
home.
We
We're
just
gonna
wanted to confirm.
all right, bless. All right, bless.
On that
All right, bless.
very, very, very expensive bombshell for Laurent, because next week, July 18th, tune in 9 a.m. to listen to the pod, and you'll either hear Laurent there, chest out with a smile, or it's gonna be silence for 30 minutes.
Can I just say, yo, this can go super south for Laurent even more because Jersey Day is upon us if Chelsea wins. So Laurent, you have a chance to go run to the flea market between now and Sunday or now and next week to go get your kit. Because boy, Jersey Day, we established that, it could be the case if Chelsea wins this. So there's a lot of pressure on you, sir.
Honestly, man, yo, listen, if you feel my heart rate right now, man, I am as
Bro, it's
cool,
like
bro.
boom, 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 boom.
It is. Yeah, listen, bro.
It's
It's
like
like
Nicholas Jackson hitting the ball in the side netting.
nah, you
Jeez.
wish, bro. You wish, bro. I could take a PK right now, bro. Eyes closed, blindfolded. But nah, man, I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm confident, bro. Like, these are the moments that us Chelsea fans have been waiting for.
Shit. All right, enough Chelsea talk. Fuck them. I pray for your sake, because of what's coming your way if Chelsea loses, that Chelsea wins, that I stay humbled. But we'll be back next week. And we'll either hear that chuckle the entire podcast, or we'll hear, yo, you guys always do this shit to me, man. Like, you guys just want banter, and you guys keep talking about the jersey. I don't need to wear jersey to show my appreciation for my club, blah, blah, blah. So it's going to be one of those two. I think CJ and I know which one's going to happen, but
That's crazy.
you...
'cause as far as I'm concerned, your track records with predictions are not the best. I'll say that much. As of recent times. So, hey, man. Right?
So, for the listeners, tune in, hit that subscribe. We'll see you next week. And yeah, we're here for you weekly.
Oh, yes.
Adi fucking os.
Adios.